Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another card video here on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making a turnabout card, and if you don't know what those are, hold on, we'll talk about it. So we're going to be using this stamp set, which is called the Dahlia Turnabout stamp. It also has a matching die, and we're going to be using these inks from Altenew because I thought those would match really well. To do a turnabout, you definitely have to have a MISTI or some sort of stamp positioning tool, otherwise it's just really not going to work. Alright, so to start you're going to get this little transparency piece that comes with your stamp set, and you'll see and you'll notice that it says this side up. You're going to put that down and you're going to take your stamp and you're going to align that right over the top of that little transparency sheet. That is what is going to set for you how you're going to do your little turnabout. So once that's on there, you can put that inside of your MISTI. Now there are ways to make bigger ones if you want to put it on a different spot in your card, but I honestly just wanted to make some little note cards. So I have my paper cut down to 4 inches. It's 4-inch square. I'm going to ink up the first part with this is the Dewdrops ink. I obviously can't use all the colors that came in this set. That's the Cerulean Blue Skies Altenew set. So then I'm going to ink it up twice, and making sure that it always is like pushed down into the corner. Once that is stamped, I have a whole system here. I'm going to clean off my stamp first, then I will turn my piece just one bit. And if you're not comfortable with that and you want to make sure that you don't screw it up, you could with a pencil very lightly write 1, 2, 3, and 4 in each of the corners, so that way you know which one you need to turn to. But I trusted that if I just stayed with my system I'd be fine. So then I inked the next one up twice. That was Volcano Lake. I'll clean, then I will turn my stamp again, and I'm going to ink that up with some Lagoon ink. So we're getting progressively darker. You wouldn't even have to do this. You could go with one color if you wanted, 2 colors, 2 completely different color palette. You wouldn't even have to stick with, one color palette at all. You could go through the rainbow if you wanted, honestly. But I thought this would be fun with the blues. And then I'll clean off my stamp again and then turn it one last time, and I'm going to use the Galactic Stream ink. So these blues are all so pretty. I love this set of blues. And then I'll do that twice, and that'll give us this really beautiful dahlia. And mine might be off just a little bit, but honestly I don't mind. It's kind of forgiving. So these turnabouts I wouldn't say are like probably not my forte, but I know that there are some great ones out there for this. Now I've decided that I want to add Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder to one set of those little dahlia petals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it, I want it to be on the light blue. I've cleaned off my stamp already. I'm going to ink this up with some embossing ink, but then I have to say wait because I need to put some magic powder bag down on that. I probably should have heat set it because I did ink each of those up twice, but this is fine. If that embossing powder gets on some of the other ones, it really doesn't bother me. So I will get out a coffee filter, and then I'm going to cover this with that Rainbow Sparkle. If you've never seen it before, it is basically just a clear embossing powder, but it has some glittery sparkle in it. So it's really, really pretty. So we'll just cover that first layer, and then we'll heat set that with our heat tool, and I'll show you probably at the end. I'll show you now, but I'll show you at the end a little better, but it does add a lot of shine and sparkle to those one set. For my card base, I'm cutting this down to 8.5 inches by 4.25 inches, and so then I'll put that into my score buddy and score that at 4.25 inches. So this will be just a nice little note card that will fit inside of an A2 size envelope very easily. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there. This is just hello. There's a lot of really great sentiments in this set, but I just wanted some quick and easy note cards that I could either throw in the mail real quick or, whatever. Didn't need it to have a bunch of flash. I just wanted these to be pretty simple. So I stamped hello down with some embossing ink, and I'm going to cover that with some Raven embossing powder, just a black embossing powder. This is by Brutus Monroe. And then I'll heat set that till that is smooth and melted. And once that's all done, we'll get ready to adhere this to our note card. I didn't stamp anything on the inside because, honestly, there isn't a lot of space in there now because it's a 4.25 by 4.25 little square note card. So I've attached that down. It's a side folding card. We're going to move on here in a minute. I want to show you one more thing with this stamp set using the die. Now you could very easily use the die all around for all the bits. I've seen that done as well, but I thought it would be fun to just use it for one. So once again, lined it up and then put it into my MISTI, close the door of the MISTI. I'm going to use this next set, which is the warm grays. And so these are all gray colors. I'll ink up that first one with the lightest gray. I didn't write down the actual colors, but this is a whole set of 4, the Altenew warm grays. Then I'll turn it, and I don't actually even clean off my stamp since these are going in darker grays. I figured it probably wouldn't matter since they were all the same color family. And then once again, turn it, move on to my third color, and then I'll stamp that one down as well. And then I'm not going to stamp my fourth one. This is where I am going to grab that die. So I stamped that twice, but I'll grab that die and I'm basically eyeballing it so you can see where it might line up nicely. There's one spot where in the very center where you have a dot and then you have like a leaf where it should be. If I'd actually stamped the leaf down, you could. It probably would have been easier, but I'm eyeballing it. I'm going to stick that down with some purple tape when I'm happy with sort of where that's going to be. And then I'll run that through my die cutting machine. And then you'll see that it just basically takes out all the little, where the petals would be if I had stamped it. And it's, you know, not a whole lot right now, but you'll be able to tell when I put it on top of the note card. But I'm going to stamp first. I'm just going to stamp Friend, and I'm just going to use some Raven Detail ink to stamp down my sentiment. Just a black ink. And then I'm actually going to get my card base ready, which is some slate cardstock. So once again, I'm going to cut that down to 4 1/4 inches by 8 1/2 inches so that I can score that at 4 1/4. And then I'll just take some of the Brutus Monroe foam tape and I'm going to put that all over the back side of this card panel, just wherever obviously there isn't a hole. And then I'll trim that down. I'll peel off all the release paper on the back here. And then I will stick that down to my note card. So I have a nice gray border, and then you can see that gray through the center. It's really pretty cool. And that will take care of that note card. So let's take a look at all the 2 cards that I made, and I'll even show you a little bonus one I made. So here's the gray card. Here is the blue one, and then I also made an orange one with the Altenew Goldfish tails. So there you have it. Very quick and easy turnabout cards that you can make some little note cards with in no time at all. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I typically have 3 to 4 videos a week, and I would love it if you stuck around. So I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye, everybody.